HGTV welcomes you to the following presentation of Grizzlies High School Sports.
Welcome, Grizzly fans, to Week 8. Your Goffstown Grizzlies take on the Crimson Tide here in Concord. What an event tonight. It's, we're going up against an undefeated, very powerful, very dominant
powerhouse running team with Concord. Last week I got to reflect back on the Pinkerton game, though. Goffstown really, you saw them pour their heart into it. You knew that they were outmatched going into that game with a powerhouse team that Pinkerton is perennially, and they really made it going into the halftime. That still could have been anybody's game, and it was a pretty exciting first half. And I'd really like to see these guys put the heart into this half and keep it close. And, again, we're going to get into the war of attrition, though, Al. We've run into that all season long. It's just, you see, as Concord goes through the senior night and they got 30 seniors, that's our whole team.
This is certainly a big team, not just in size and depth, but all around strength. They're just going to be a big powerhouse team, and they're going to push the ball. And when you can push the ball and you don't have to pass, why wouldn't you run?
Yeah, and, it works. You got to stick with what works. I mean, any coach is going to stay with what works. And, they've got two potentially 1,000-yard rushers on this team.
It's my understanding they got probably about 2 or 3 people that are probably going to go D1 football. It's impressive to me to see what the Grizzlies have done this year, moving up to D1, winning 4 games this year, beating some of the competition that, quite honestly, I think a lot of people didn't think we had any right to beating. When you're looking at Londonderry, when you're looking at Memorial, I think we shocked a lot of people. And as we've said throughout the series, is we got youth on our side. Looking at what we have on the offensive, the special teams, the defensive side of the ball, we're a very young team, and this is going to be a powerful team. And I think in the next 2 years, we're going to make even more of an impact.
I agree. When we break everything down, a lot of the top contributors this season have been sophomores and some juniors in there. Obviously, defensively, we still have Bernard in there, who's a senior, who are losing. But a lot of these are underclassmen that are really making the bulk of the contributions for Goffstown. So we do have something to look forward to.
Yeah, speaking of contributions, Jeff, let's take a rundown and let's take a look at what we've accumulated so far throughout the season. Let's start with the offense. I mean, in my prediction, if I had to say, who's the powerhouse for the Grizzlies right now on the offense, clearly running the ball is Connor Bork. Without question, nobody can touch him on the rushing yards, in my opinion.
Yeah, and he is leading the team in rushing yards. He's got 432 rushing yards, 4 rushing touchdowns this season. Deceptive runner, and again, a sophomore, and he's going to have some good years ahead of him. He's doing great. Obviously, you got to throw Casey into the
he's going to certainly have those running plays, but I think where Casey has the handle with probably more touchdowns, if you're the one doing the stats, is obviously on the total amount of touchdowns because he's throwing for those touchdowns.
Right, he is throwing for them, but Casey has 7 touchdown runs. He is leading the team, the Grizzlies, in touchdown rushing touchdowns this season. Connor's got 4. He's also got a couple TD catches. Casey then also has 11 TD passes on the season.
Yep.
So, those two really have provided.
How about what do we have for the Ginger Ninja for Christian Marquis? What do we have for stats for Christian?
Christian Marquis is got light rushing yards this season, but he's got
more receiving yards.
Quite a bit of receiving yards and a receiving touchdown. He's got 156 total yards for the Grizzlies on the season. Paul Teixeira also 226 yards receiving, 4 touchdown catches this season. And then Matt Collins he's filled in. He's been that slot receiver. He's been a quarterback. He's run. He's passed and he's received. So Collins has put in 218 total yards for the team as well. He's got a TD run, a TD catch. No passing TDs for Matt, but he does have 100 yards passing on the season.
That's great.
Contributions from a handful of guys offensively.
That's fantastic. Kudos to all those guys. Hard work pays off, certainly. Let's switch over to the defensive side of the ball. Clearly we've been saying the names. It's no secret. It's the Ruthier-Pernod combination all season long. I got to believe they're probably within 5 tackles of each other if one's leading the other.
Well, Al, that's interesting that we bring that up because both Ian and Ryan have 65 tackles on the season.
Really?
Identical stats on tackles. Ruthier does have 3 sacks on the year.
Okay.
He's got some solid stats, but they both have 65 tackles. And one of the things that I've always used as sort of the benchmark for defensive players in high school football is 80 tackles. If you can make 80 tackles in the season, you are a dominant defensive player at this level for your team.
And we certainly have a game tonight where there's going to be a lot of running. They're going to have opportunities to get plenty of tackles today.
Both Ryan and Ian have put up 15 tackle games. Both of those guys can get to that sort of, that elite status of defensive player tonight. And with a heavy rushing team, I think it's one of them. It's probably likely.
I think a couple unsung heroes that maybe, like you said, don't always show up on the statistics are people like Joe Small, people like Mitchell Kusan, Flowmaster, where he's putting that pressure on the quarterback. He might have a couple of sacks, but it's more the pieces that aren't getting him the stats. The pass defended and those, putting the pressure.
I agree. We could run down the list real quick. Few kids that do just that, the little stats. It's those intangible stats that they're really making contributions. You don't always see them. A kid like Cam Bond. Unfortunately, he's gotten a little eager on the ball and picked up a few penalties for us this year.
But, him and Mitchell playing that defensive end position where they went with speed, that's a great combination.
And he's put up sacks, interceptions.
That's right.
He's forced a bunch of fumbles this year. Very active for us. Again, Mitchell, couple sacks already this year, and he had both of those in the same game. Banged him out. One was the first defensive play of the game for us to really set the tone. Sam Sharon, he's another one we don't talk to. Almost 100 yards receiving on the year. He's caught like 4 passes. He's got two
touchdowns, right?
Yeah, he's got 2 touchdowns.
That's an amazing statistic.
2 sacks and a fumble recovery and a dozen tackles to go with it. So he's one of those kids that contributes more than the stats show. And we could go on and on. Justin Warner.
How do you not mention the defense and not mention the Como Crunch?
We had 3 Como Crunches last week.
Did you really? Folks, I'm sorry I missed the game last week. I had a prior commitment. But you can't mention the defense without that combo, that combo.
Those are so as we go down the tackles, we go from Pinard and Ruthier, the shot at the title, the guys that are leading the way. Dead gridlock at 65 tackles each. The next leading tackler on the team is Cam Bond, 37.
Wow.
Then you get into Timmy Como with 34, and then Zach Como with 29. Right. So these kids they're all producing. Some other sort of standout tacklers right now. Mitchell Kusan's got 20 tackles and 2 sacks on the season. Alex Duvall's got 25 tackles and he's got a pick to go with that. And Justin Warner, he's got multiple picks. Almost had 3 picks.
An intangible statistics player. Yeah. Somebody who you can't play the ball game without. It's the intangible passes, the deflections, the pass rushing. It really makes a difference. And that's the whole definition of what we talked about from week 1. That's the definition of teamwork. Everybody kicks in just a little bit extra, and it all adds up.
And then special teams, Al.
Let's talk about special teams. Let's talk about special teams first as we give our special teams for the year so far. Jeff and I, Chad, had an opportunity. Our special teams award winner clearly is Paul Teixeira. Paul, if you're listening to this, Big Tex, you got to make a video and a highlight reel and send that to college coaches. The way you're kicking the ball, the way you're punting the ball is absolutely college-worthy
through the first 4 or 5 games of the season. I'm going to say that's almost a payable level of kicking. Paul, you had some kicks there for 60-plus yards to start the season for us. You were the best punter in the state this year. And if we can keep it up
from
here
all the
today,
games that we've seen, it's clearly a definite. There are some punters that we've seen. They're trying to side kick. They're trying to top. There are kids that don't even know how to kick the ball.
Then you get guys like Connor Bork, who's got 8 tackles this year
on the special teams. And
doesn't play defense.
I would say half of those are coming off maybe a 60-yard touchdown run, and then he gets on the field and he gets down there and he hustles. So the honorable mention on special teams to Connor Bork. Mentioning Connor Bork, let's stick with the offense here, and let's move over to our 2. I think we both were in agreement where Casey and Connor Bork clearly separating themselves on the offense.
Yeah, I think as far as, players for Goffstown this season, the 2 key impact players for Goffstown offensively this season are Connor Bork and Casey Gervais. And I think you got to take your hat off to them. Both of them are sophomores, and the lion's share of the load was dumped on them.
Absolutely.
And they've done very well.
Folks, we're getting ready to wrap up here, but let's touch the defense, and that's an easy one as well. Clearly they both tie at 65. As you mentioned, Jeff, the Pinard-Ruthier combination on the defensive side for tackles, you can't beat that.
They're unbelievable, and they have a chance to really impact the game here tonight, too, with the running game of Concord. So,
folks, we hope you've enjoyed the pregame and the play-by-play and all the color commentary by my co-host here, Jeff Hubbard. We'll see you next year. We're going to have a great season. Let's finish off tonight, and let's go Grizzlies. Okay, welcome back, folks. Grizzly football here at the stadium of the Crimson Tide for Week 9. Jeff, Grizzlies are looking for their 5th win against the dominating opponent, undefeated Crimson Tide, 8-0.
Yeah, Al, they're working uphill today. It's gonna be a tough one. Like I said, though, they put an impressive heart in last week against Pinkerton. And here's the good news. Here's the positive side about the Grizzlies team this year. They have visibly, in watching their football, they've gotten better as the season's gone on all year.
Absolutely.
And they give you something to look forward to and something to be proud of. And, you know, all we can hope is that they pour their heart into it, and this should be an exciting first half.
Today, wrapped up, corner, nowhere to go.
And Leo is
brought down by
Ian Ruthier.
24.
43.
40 to 43, Ian Ruthier. All right, Ian. He's up to 66.
On that last tackle for Goffstown.
Yeah, Ian got in on that. Looks like Ian had missed a tackle earlier in the play, which you could see on the film, but he stuck with it, and as Leo had to cut back, Ian was able to make the tackle a little later in the play.
Robert Lahr is the quarterback for the Tide. Jacob Lewis set back behind. It's a keeper looking for a pass. Out of the pocket to his right. Pass is complete.
Pass complete to Famu Smith for a Concord first down. To pick up a 15 yards in that
And pushed out of bound by Mitchell Cousin on the play.
Wicked.
Ball is at the 38-yard line. Will be first and 10 for the Tide.
Crimson Tide up the
And
middle.
there's Ryan Pennard getting into the action.
Ryan Pennard, 1 for 1. They're both grabbing it.
45-yard line.
Well, to start,
Ball was carried by number 40. That's James Wells on the carry.
A pickup of 6 yards in that last play to bring up second down.
that might have been Walters on the carry, but Al, first 2 tackles of the game, Ian and Ryan.
What a way to start it off.
They're competitive. They're competitors.
I wonder if they know they each got 65.
No, you know, Ian asks sometimes, so I think they know, and I think Pennard just hits.
Up, nowhere to go. A gaggle of Grizzlies stopped right up the middle.
Looks like
That's
Timmy
number
Como
42.
leading the way,
That's Walters Indy on the carry.
and it looks like
Joe Small in that last play.
Timmy Como led the charge, and it looks like Joe Small might have been in there too, but Timmy was the first one to get a hand on him. It's nice to see Big Joe Small doing some work,
Fills
stuffing
up
up
a lot
the middle.
of space up in that middle. It's 3rd down with 4 yards to go for the Tide. Rolls
And,
out
he
to his
rolls
left,
out to-
looking to pass.
Oh, and he's
Has some
keeping
running
it.
room. First down.
And Zach Como chops him down.
Pick up a 5
It's Robert Law for the Crimson Tide.
First down for the Tide.
1st and 10 as they're just about
Ian
at
Ruthier
midfield.
on the stop for Goffstown.
Yeah, that was Zach Como, but was able to cut him down. Boy, yeah, we talked earlier about the intangible things too. The sophomore class contributions, a kid like Joe Small. I mean, we don't have big bodies for Goffstown are at a premium.
Sure.
It really helps change the scope of the game to have some big bodies.
Robert Law looking back to pass. Nope. Pick up a 5
And
yards
that's-
on the play. Looks like
Mark Gardetta on the
Alex Duvall
And Ian Ruthier.
and Ian
And
Ruthier.
Ruthier was
Goffstown 45-yard line.
got a hand up on the play.
Ian Ruthier on the stop for Goffstown.
Gaudet is one of those 3 running backs that we're going to hear quite a bit
Pick
about.
up a 5 yards in
Him,
that last play
Indy,
to bring up a
and
second down
Zoltz
5.
will be the running backs with most of the carries today.
Yeah, and again, when you have the 3-headed monster in your backfield, it's just you got fresh legs all the time that can run like that.
Looking to pass. Quick pass out to the right.
Pass
There is a
complete
first
to Leo
down.
today.
out of bounds at the 37-yard line of the Grizzlies.
Justin Wainer on the stop for Goffstown.
Looks like
Pick up about 8 yards in that last play. And
Zach
number 9
Como
for
and Justin
Concord first
Warner.
down. Follows
Well, it seems like the Tide are certainly moving the ball. We expected this right from the beginning. 3 straight first downs. They're now at the 37-yard line, 36-yard line, looking to put something in the end zone.
Bedford has a 7-0 lead over Central.
Boy, we got the update on the Bedford Central game, Alan. Something tells me that
Law
Bedford's
bumps
going
it to the outside, out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
Something tells me Bedford's going to have their way with Central tonight.
That will be a big margin of victory for sure. If their game started at 7 and they're already up 7, it's going to a lot of points on that scoreboard.
It's happening quick. Zach Como forced that last run out of bounds, and Zach's been active here to start the game. I think this whole defense is going to get a lot of time to be active against this run. Oh, there was an
Law keeps it
offside.
himself. Oh, almost grabbed up. Ian tracking him down. Ian stays with them, forced out of bounds at the 13-yard line.
You know,
there was another first down for the Tide.
There was some movement on both sides of the ball to start that play, Alan. No laundry. That's a peculiar because there
was
was
an awful lot of laundry this year.
There was not just lateral movement on the offense too. They had an end pulling who was coming backwards. You can only move laterally once the line is set, and he was certainly moving backwards on the play. And it looks like either Cam Bond or Joe Small was stepped into the neutral zone on that last one too.
Law set back in the shotgun. In the I formation is Indy. Oh, he bumps into his own guy. Doesn't go much further than 2 yards.
Take it down
by Mitchell Couson.
Mitchell was on the ankles and Timmy Como on the other end. Good tackle. Good tackle by Mitchell to take advantage of the Concord running back running into his own teammate and getting slowed down for a second. And, you know, it's key. If you don't give him time to bump it out, you know, get in there and make the tackle. And Mitchell was able to do that for us
right there.
right
Well, the Tide
there.
can still get a first down and not be in the end zone, so they have some time to play with. They second down with 9 yards to go. Law keeps it himself. Nope. Out to the outside. Sadeh brought down by Justin Wainer and Timmy Como.
And Timmy is you know, to get out there, he's moving. He's you know, he's coming from.
I'm sorry, that was Zach Como on the play.
Zachary Como, yeah. I was gonna say if Timmy gets out there, he is covering some ground coming from the left DT spot.
Right. Law rolls to his right, looking to pass. Pass intended for number 1.
Looks like the ball was
Smith ball is
tipped
incomplete.
by Mitchell Couson.
On the coverage was Couson and Duvall.
And Mitchell was able to get a hand on that.
4th down, 8 yards to go. Talking to some of the parents earlier before the game on the Concord side, they do not have a guy who can kick field goals, so they will be going for this.
Yeah, it makes it tough, though, if they start scoring a lot to see the two-point
it'd be
conversions
something here
happen.
if the Grizzlies could put up a stop here and get a changeover in downs and make it quite a statement.
Well, it's 4th and long. We know they're going for it. They're deep in Goffstown territory here. They got Walters lined up in the fullback spot in the backfield. And
it's Law to Walters. Law keeps it, rolls to his outside, looking to pass. Pass is complete in the end zone to number 14. That's Mark Gaudet.
11-yard pass caught by Mark Gaudet for a Concord touchdown.
Crimson Tide strikes first with 6 on the board.
Kevin Connick in to attempt the extra point.
Extra point for the Tide. The kick is up.
Kick is up.
And it is good. Crimson Tide 7.
I wonder where
Grizzlies.
they recruited that leg, because boy, that was a solid kick. He had plenty of distance, plenty of height. Well,
Grizzlies set back to receive. As you can imagine, it is Connor Bork and Tanner Putnam set way back.
well, let's see if Tanner's got some speed, Al. But you know, a couple times this year he's had the issue of dropping to a knee while he's catching it. He did that again last week, and boy, I'd like to see him use his speed in some open space. If he could keep his knee off the turf here, we can maybe see Tanner pick up some yards for us.
Set to kick for the Tide is number 42. That's Walters Indy.
Good height on the kick, and it's right to Putnam.
Clean catch. Has some blockers.
And
right
he
up
has
the middle.
some space.
Has a lot of room. He's up to midfield, heading to, the 40, the 30. He's out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Tanner Putnam, what an opening statement. Hits the Tide right in the nose. Lets him know that if he has the speed and open ground, he certainly can run that ball.
And Walters, the kicker, who we all know, tremendous runner, tremendous speed, he had a hard time tracking Putnam down. Tanner, that's exactly what I was hoping to see.
What a way to start things off here for the Grizzlies.
Boy, and now they are on their own 20-yard line.
All the weapons come out.
Concord's
Christian
20.
Marquis, Paul Teixeira, Matt Collins. Casey has all his weapons, and his main weapon on his left-hand side is Connor Bork. Gives it to Connor. Nowhere to go, slips up a bit. We got some flags, and we got a fumble. A fumble is on the play, but there is a flag on the play. Christian Marquis is trying to catch up, and it looks like number 14, that's Mark Gaudet. Mark Gaudet just cost that touchdown pass in the end zone, but that's going to come back, Jeff.
Well, it looked like somebody from Concord may have got a hand on the face mask of Bork on the play.
That's coming back, fellas.
There might be a reason why Connor choked that ball over. We'll see what the call is.
Well, we know what that's like, Jeff, don't we? Having a big run called back.
Oh,
so
boy.
it's kind of nice to see the turnover and get that called right back and get it back in the Grizzlies' hands.
That's happened to Connor Bork 2 or 3 times this year. Oh, and that's just a devastating blow when you take points back. And looks like the referees are conferring still as to what is the call. And it's face mask. They gave the sign.
That could be plus 15, right, Jeff?
Well, it depends on it. 5 yards for an inadvertent, but it could be a 15-yard penalty.
If that is, we're on the 5-yard line.
And an automatic first down.
Let's see what they give the Grizzlies here.
Boy, wouldn't that be that would be a boost. I would say spread out the defense and let Casey and Connor try running it in. If
looks like
oh
boy, that's a big Grizzly gain on that play.
And they're going. It's a 15-yarder.
We're at the 6-yard line.
Oh, it's 15, I guess, from the point of the infraction.
Actually, we're at about the 11-yard line. It looks like, Jeff. Grizzlies will have 1st and 10 at the 12.
And I don't know why they're not moving the chains, because it's an automatic first down, I believe. They should be moving the chains.
Gervais set back to pass, looking for his man. Oh, Paul Teixeira. Pass is incomplete.
Oh, boy, this is an odd question, but why are they not moving the chains? It's not 2nd and goal now.
Yep.
It's
from the 12-yard line. The chains should be moving. That chain gang here in Concord is maybe not paying attention here, Jeff.
I'm surprised the referees aren't calling that.
They're saying it's 2nd down with 3 yards to go. Gervais set back, hands it to Bork, right up the middle, and boy, he may have gotten that first down.
And I think he got it, Al.
First down. Grizzlies get the first down.
Pick up a 3 for Connor.
Goal.
goal from the 10-yard line.
Well, 1st and goal on the 10. You got to like the sound of that.
Connor's coming out for a substitution. We hope he's okay.
Hopefully he needs
Connor, is that 20?
That's Ethan Houle.
That's number 25. That's Ethan Houle. Interesting.
No, and Houle has gotten in a few times for a few carries so far this year.
Gervais, trips up. Looks like he tripped up with Christian Marquis on the play. Loss of about 3 yards on that play.
Looks behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it looks like Casey may have lost about 4 yards on that play.
Oh, Connor Book is back in the game. Maybe just an equipment adjustment.
Bring up a 2nd down.
I like that pass to Big Tex. I'd go right back to that tight end play. What do you think, Jeff?
You got to like that matchup.
Gervais set back to pass. Passes up. Pass intended for number 5, Christian Marquis. Pass is incomplete.
Boy, like to see Marquis take a stab at that ball. At least to get a hand on it and knock it down, because the defender almost had a chance for a free interception there.
Grizzlies looks like it'll take another stab at the end zone here.
Well, with 3rd down, they certainly have a chance. They're in field goal range.
Might as well take 2 stabs at it, right? If Mike is here, Mike Simons, he certainly has the leg to put up a field goal. Gervais in the shotgun, Bork to his right. Gervais looking to pass.
Oh.
Sack for a loss. Brought down by number 56. That's Christopher Skinner.
Boy, and that almost puts it out of field goal range.
Yeah, that was a big loss of yardage on that play.
Oh, boy.
Back to the 17-yard line, it looks like.
To bring up a 4th down and goal from
Mike,
the 17-yard line.
Looks like Mike Simons is out, coming out to kick.
Field goal formation.
Yeah, so far Casey's got the negative 7 yards on the rush.
Let's hope that the O-line can really put some block in here and let him get a good kick.
And the kick is up, and it's blocked.
Looks like he tripped up on the play. Uh-oh. Tide picks it up. We got the Grizzlies in pursuit. Matt Collins. Timmy Como. That's a touchdown, number 64 for the Tide. Another turnover on play from a block punt. That's Wyatt Lombard.
Well, that's an interesting play. You don't see it often where there is a botched kick that doesn't even get past the line of scrimmage.
No, it looks like he misplaced his plant foot, and the ball really didn't go anywhere above the knees. And it seemed like everybody was in shock, and Tide was able to jump on that ball quickly.
That is an ugly turn of events for Goffstown, though, Al. It goes from
weird snap on the play for the 2-point conversion.
Leo Sudan and
Leo Suday on the 2-point conversion.
You know, you go from trying to kick a field goal to giving up a touchdown. Boy, in the first quarter here.
Just under 5 minutes remain. Its score should be 15-0.
Yeah, we've got 15-0 here in the first, Al, about halfway through the first, or 2/3 of the way through the first. And, boy, you know.
There's a reason why the Tide are undefeated this year.
Oh, there certainly is, but, you know, still no excuse for not getting a kickoff there. That should have been a field goal for Goffstown. And boy, Tanner had a great return last time. Let's see what he can produce here.
You know, that's a weird formation that they took on that direct snap play, Jeff. I don't think the Grizzlies have seen anything like that this year. I think it caught them off guard, caught them by surprise. No one's lined up like that at all, and that puts the extra 2 points on the board for the Tide.
Yeah. And, and Leo was able to punch it in easily.
Looks like this time to Connor Bork. Let's see what Connor can do with it. Clean catch. Bounces out to the outside. Wrestled down at the 18-yard line. In on the tackle was number 3. That's Genoa Moser.
It was Solo, the tackle for Concord.
Well, not as good a field position this time, Al, but let's see what we can do. I mean, Goffstown certainly needs to do something here just to keep their spirit in this game.
Keep the spirit, move the ball, move the chains once or twice, and that would give them a little momentum.
You know, I still think, Al, you know, some deception run plays, some traps and some pulling plays.
Maybe that option play with Christian Marquis off to the side worked well with Tanner Putnam. Oh boy.
Well, I think if you mix up the run game, you may have some success. You might be able to move the chains a little bit, and it sets up your pass. Because right now Concord is just waiting for us to go to the all-out air game,
right.
You know, setting it up with a good running, a balanced running attack would be a huge help.
Marquis Gervais set back to pass. Pass intended for Tanner Putnam. Ball is incomplete. On the coverage was number 2. That's Walter Zolch.
Intended for Chris Marquis. Jacob Zoltz on the coverage.
Boy, it looks tough. These plays aren't even close right now.
Yeah,
they're not all putting it together. Let's see what Casey can pull out here.
Casey in the shotgun takes it back, drops back to pass, looking for Big Tex. Big Tex. Ball is thrown out of bounds, intended for Big Tex.
You know, Al, I dare say, too, you know, it would be good to see Tanner Putnam get in there at the receiver position.
Sure.
It would also be good to see, you know, a Sam Sharon get out there and get a couple more looks. Maybe even Timmy Como. He's got some of the most reliable hands. Timmy Como does, and boy, it would be good to see those 3 guys get a little more time at the receiver position.
Seems like the coverage is good. The depth of this Tide team really is in every position.
And Sharon and Timmy Como give you a little added height, and Putnam gives you a little added speed. You know, you got to be able to spread out the field, and if you don't spread it out, the passing game's going to get tough.
Big Tex looking to punt. Excellent punt once again from Big Tex. That's Seamus Smith. He has a lot of running room.
Oh, and it looks like Big
Brought
Dog
down at about the 20-yard line.
Dylan Sherwood.
Dylan Sherwood on the tackle and the coverage. Boy, they have field position, don't they?
And you want to know, Al, that's another piece of this season that I think it's odd. So Dylan has only played a few series on defense this year. He's an offensive lineman for Goffstown. It's his 9th tackle on the year. He makes tackles when he's in there. I think, you know, that's something that maybe even as a defensive replacement here, you plug him in somewhere. He seems to be, he's one of those kids. He's a senior. This could be his last game. He's playing with some heart right now.
Yep.
I'd love to see him in there. There's Walters.
Right up the middle to Walter Indy for the touchdown.
18-yard run by Walters Indy.
Yes. Yeah, Walters is his, yes, yeah, first name. I just like I like the name, Al. The name Walters. It's,
Walters Indy.
Walters as a first name. It's not just Walter, but S with the S on the end. It's got
3 minutes remaining.
unique.
Maybe a direct snap, maybe a punt, extra point.
Oh, whoa, they're going to some deception play. They had their whole O-line set way off of center. Now they're getting set for a standard kick formation. And the
extra
kick
point
is
is
good.
up. It's good. The Tide, 22 with 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Lots of points in a short amount of time.
Al, I'm running out of room on my paper here to write scores down for Concord in the first quarter. At 22-0 here with 3 minutes left, it may get it could possibly get worse.
Well, let's see what the Grizzlies can do. We have Tanner Putnam set back and Connor Bork. We have Zach Como and Alex Duvall.
Walters Indy
Dylan Sherwood is also out there.
Boy, I would like to see the ball go to Big Dog. If he got ahead of steam, I'm sure that he's not going to try to juke anybody. I think he's going to try to run him over. And I would like to watch that. That would be some entertaining football. That would be the old straight ahead, head-to-head tackling drills. That would be that might be one of those hits you hear from up here on the top
Indy
of the
kicks
stands.
off. Looks like it's going to Bork. Clean catch. Goes for the middle. Oh, he had some room.
Oh, boy.
Brings it up to about the 26-yard line, but I'll tell you,
somebody just got a hand on a shoelace.
Boy, oh boy, he had a lot of running room. He clearly would have had some extra yards on that play. Grizzlies take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Ball is officially marked at the
Boy,
6-yard line.
Al, I agree with you. He had some daylight ahead of him.
Special teams is getting it done today.
Well, thank God one of the three
We're
components
creating some opportunities. That's all we can ask for. Casey set back, looking to pass. Pass is complete to Paul Texer. Big Tex. He's out of bounds at the 43-yard line.
You know, and Tex does a pretty good job there of taking a couple of chop steps, making sure his feet are inbounds.
11 yards in that last play.
It's a
And
nice
those-
way to move the chains
Those
quickly.
good quick out patterns are good. It doesn't seem like it's quite there stretching it down the field. They're playing soft on the deep pass, Concord is, but they're giving up the short pass. I think we got to take advantage of it.
Casey, handoff to Connor Bork, rolls to the outside, gets tied up. Brought down right at about the yard of scrimmage.
Matt Campbell on the stop for Concord. There's no gain on that last play. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 9.
Casey set back to pass to Connor Bork. He's got some yardage. He's got a 1st down. He's got more. Knocked out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Grizzlies take over 1st and 10 in the tied zone.
The ball is at the 45-yard line. Only 1st and 10 for Goffstown.
Yeah, just over 18 yards for Connor there on the pass.
Nice short pass, little play again, Jeff.
That's I think that's what they got to do. That's what right now Concord's defense is giving up the short pass. That's what they take it. You got to take whatever you can get right now, and if that's what they're giving you, take advantage of it.
Casey has his weapons deployed. Set back to pass. Quick pass again. Pass intended for Big Tex. Passes incomplete.
And if that pass were down, Tex was there. That was a 3 or 4 yard pickup. I think if you look deep too with the trips we have on the left side of the field right now,
He has 3
Collins
weapons
is
out
running
on the left-hand side.
Collins and Marquis were running somebody off, and Justin Warner was left trickling in, and he was wide open. The defense was run off. If he got the ball, there was nobody within 7 yards of
I
him.
think there's a sense of security with Big Tex. Big body, easy target.
Yeah, well, he was open also. That was a good play, but Justin Warner is wide open on that left side too.
2nd and 10 for the Grizzlies. Quick
Oh,
pass
there's-
only this
there's-
time to Tanner Putnam.
Oh.
Pass is incomplete.
And yeah, and Putnam was open again. That just
Tanner Putnam falls incomplete.
just couldn't reel it in.
It'll bring up a 3rd and 10 for the Grizzlies.
Boy, those are the ones we got to come down with to move the chains.
Why doesn't that guy take the time to figure out how to pronounce names like I do? Yeah, that sounds terrible. Jervis. Just my 2 cents on that little play. That's good.
Well, let's see what they can do. 3rd and everything.
3rd and 10 at their own 45.
They got to be aware of where the
tied
down
45.
marker is right now. They need anything
Set
short
back
of
to
10
pass. He's
yards.
going deep. Oh, intended for Big Tex.
Boy, and again, that's just happened too much this year that I don't know if the play calling, the signal calling is tricky for the receivers because Casey and his receivers are too often not on the same page. Each play that they call should have a specified route for each receiver, and they should be on the same page more often than not. I wonder if in the offseason and coming into next year they're going to get that ironed out.
Goffstown back
Tech bobbles it. Good punt.
Nice boot.
Excellent boot.
And that's
Boy,
all the way
that's
out.
of the back of the end zone. Big Tex.
And
That's a
55-yarder, and then, by the way, through the end zone for another 10 yards.
Right.
That's a boot.
Great kick.
From the far 45, he put it into the end zone. That is a, boy, I hope Paul kicks this well next year for us as well. He is got to be the best punter in the state.
I think so.
I mean, it really helps when you have to dump the other team far in their own half of the field. When they have to start on the 20, it's certainly a boost to our defense. And Big Joe Small in there.
Big Joe Small in on that carry. Yeah, that was Indy right up the middle and really nowhere to go.
Yeah, Indy is a great runner, but boy, when Walters runs into Joe, there's really no getting away from that if he gets the bear hug on you.
Two big bodies colliding.
Well, and with about 2nd and 7, they run again. Leo
Oh, boy. Nice little move. Has some room. Leo Sade, first down and more at about the 37-yard line.
Taken down by
Concord.
Pinard and Zach Como and Ryan Pinard on the tackle. That's Zach's 3rd tackle of the night so far. He's leading the Grizzlies.
Well, with just about a minute left. Concord 22, Grizzlies 0. Grizzlies looking to stop the Tide here, Jeff. Trying to just slow this down just a bit.
And here's where this is tough, Al. They've got runners, they've got depth, they've got a big line, they've got good blocking.
Walters up the middle, Joe Small on his back. Whoa, Pinard finishes him off.
Pinard and Joe Small and maybe even Alex Duvall in on that. But also, here's where I was going with that. It's the war of attrition. When it's 2nd and 3 and you're running at will and you continue to move the chains, eventually that starts just draining the life.
The defense.
Right out of the D. Run up the middle.
Right up the middle for a first down again.
And Pinard looks like he took down 2 linemen and the ball carrier on that play. And that puts Pinard back out in front in the lead for tackles. That's his 4th down.
Just over midfield, the Concord takes over. They're going to drain out the first quarter, 22-0. They'll have 1st and 10 inside the Grizzly territory. Welcome back to second quarter action here where we have the Crimson Tide of Concord 22. Their ball, they're just over midfield in Grizzly territory.
We're ready to resume.
Well, Al, this is not quite the start that I had hoped that Goffstown would put up. But
there was some sparks of brilliance here with the kickoff, with
the returns,
some passes, some runs. That's Suday. Lots of yardage there. Hauled out of bounds by Justin Warner on the play. Brought out by about 23-yard line of the Grizzlies.
Forced out of bounds by Justin Warner.
Yeah.
A 30-yard gain on the last play. Be a first down for the Tide.
That's tough. We can't just force these guys out of bounds. We got to hit these guys in the legs and take some take a little run out of their game. It's the new pro approach. It's don't go for the helmet to save the concussion.
Don't get the fine, right?
Don't get the fine.
So Indy,
Indy on the carry.
nowhere to go. Cam Bald on the tackle for the Grizzlies.
Nice solo tackle by Bondo on that one.
Barbecue on the tackle.
And like we've said, Bondo is an active. He's active. He doesn't quit on a play.
Tide, 2nd and 11.
Indy on the carry.
Wow, big yardage again, first down.
Boy, finally taken down by Zach Como. And
Down at the 10-yard
oh, whoa, hey, wait a minute. I think we had our first Como crunch of the game.
Alex Cohen on that last tackle.
That was Zach and Timmy.
Kyle Cushman with an outstanding block on that last play.
In the backfield for the Tide, we have Walters, Indy.
And he
So
takes
he
the
has
option.
a lot of room here. Alex Duvall looking at, oh, nice tackle, but falls into the end zone for a touchdown for the Tide. 28 for the Tide.
Yeah, you got to give Duval credit.
That was a good tackle.
He kept with it, and he came in and made the tackle, but too bad tackles don't count when they end up in the end zone.
Yeah.
Kevin Condick in for the extra point.
Tide with their interesting formation there, Jeff. Now they go for the extra point, it appears. Kick is up, and it's flags are on the play.
Oh boy, and there is an offsides on the play, and I wonder, Mitchell Kusan was getting his usual good jump, but it may have been a little aggressively early. Yeah, they're calling him on the offsides.
Penalty was an encroachment call against Goffstown.
Al, there are
There's some interesting, some bugs here.
some intimidating. I think those are cicadas, and I'm pretty sure a bat does not want to tangle with one of those things tonight. Those are
Tide coming
pretty
back
large.
for their extra point.
They've got those weird pinchers on the front of them, Al. It's
Caused quite a sting.
Kevin Condick
Kick is up.
it's
It-
nearly
It's good.
nearly as intimidating as the
Concord
pinchers
29.
of a June bug. Well, and that's another score. It is now almost 30.
And that'll make the score. Goffstown
10 minutes
0,
remaining.
Concord 29.
Well,
Just a reminder that at halftime we'll be announcing the senior members, recognizing the senior members of the Concord High School marching band. In addition, we have a score on the game from Bedford, which will decide next week's opponent. The playoff game will be here at 1 o'clock. At this time, it's 7-0 in favor of Bedford.
well, 7-0
Close game with-
Bedford game.
And that as the announcer just said, the winner of that will determine who Concord plays here next week for that battle. That'll be an interesting battle
Yeah.
for sure.
And
I'm thinking if Bedford has another stab at Concord here, they're going to give them a good game. I think Bedford could get them in that next game.
Connor Bork,
oh, and it's an onside.
Tanner Putnam,
Well, we have our hands unit out there, it looks like, Jeff.
Looks like
down in
Ian
Ruthier
Ruthier.
on the coverage on the play. Grizzlies will take over 1st and 10 from their own 32.
Rothier.
Looking to put the first points on the board for the Grizzlies today. At the half, I won't talk to this guy. It's almost insulting. I mean, I come here early. I go purposely go through the names with everybody so I don't butcher them. I'm sure I'm butchering here and there, but put a little freaking effort into your job. Honest to God. Grizzlies take over 1st and 10 with Casey Gervais in the shotgun. Quick pass out to Tanner Putnam. Oh! Pass is bobbled.
Boy.
They're calling it incomplete, Jeff.
Thank goodness that was a forward pass.
Yeah.
You know, Al, so that's the
Tanner
second
got a little
time.
nervous there, thinking it may not have been.
Second time Tanner's missed that pass. But as I was mentioning earlier, it's there. Concord is giving it up.
And also the pass is there, Jeff. Casey is putting the ball right there. It seems as though Tanner just having a little bit of difficulty tonight bringing that ball in.
Unfortunately, not catching those, we're shooting ourselves in the foot. If we can reel those in and move the chains a couple times, we have a chance to get some points on the board today.
Gervais in the shotgun, looking for corner ball, keeps it himself, rolls to the outside, back in the middle. Boy, that's a loss wow.
That's a loss of
That's
several.
a loss of about 6 yards on the play. Casey has nowhere to go tonight, Jeff. The walls are caving in all around him as soon as he touches the ball.
Yeah, he's got 3 rushes for negative 11 yards today.
Bring up a 3rd down and 14.
Boy, this
Third
game
down,
could actually
14
bring
yards for
down
the Grizzlies.
his offensive season total stats at this pace.
Set back to pass, looking for a short pass to Connor Borg. Has some
Connor's
room.
got it.
Certainly going to get first down and more. Bumps to the outside, out of bounds at the 50-yard line.
If they got down first down, a 20-yard gain on the last play. Diego Ebro with
Well, you know what they say, Jeff. How do you eat an elephant?
One bite at a time.
One bite at a time. How do you beat Concord? One touchdown at a time. We get to get this ball in the end zone.
Al, without getting too crazy, I saw a YouTube video on how to eat an elephant, and that was crazy. I think Ruthier saw it too. There was a hyena.
Gervais, quick pass again to Big Tex this time. Caught.
pass is complete.
Take it
Out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Pickup of about 9 yards on the play.
One
Diego Ebro on the stop
one
for
bite at a
Concord.
time, Al. That's what we got to do. If they're giving up the short pass, we got to take it. We got to catch it.
A pickup of 7 yards on the play. It'll be a 2nd down and 3.
Looks like the Grizzlies are getting somewhat in a momentum here. Quick pass to Marquis. Wow. Came right up and was tackled right away by Samo Smith. And really, Christian had nowhere to go there, Jeff, at all. As soon as he caught that ball, the best he could do was prepare for a hit.
From Bedford is now
Boy, and a loss of 2 on the reception for Christian. Boy, sometimes those are, it's tough to say, but sometimes those are better to drop.
Yeah.
It's a loss of yards.
Grizzlies have about 5 to go on 3rd down. Three weapons right next to Casey. Which one does he go to? He goes for the quick pass to Big Tex for a first down and more.
complete to Paul Teixeira.
Grizzlies down to the 37-yard line, moving the chains again. 1st and 10. Grizzlies in Concord territory.
And Diego Ebro on the stop for Concord.
Oh, and that's going to be a pickup of about 9 yards for Paul.
Ball's at the 36-yard line. Will be 1st and 10 for the Grizzlies.
And that's what we got to do. Take those short passes. If they're going to give them, we got to march. March and wear down Concord's
That
defense.
time was a little bit more in the slot, not a quick pass to the outside. It was nice to see that pass complete.
But-
Gervais set back again. Opened. Oh, Alex Duvall.
That's where we got to catch him.
Pass is incomplete.
Ball's incomplete.
That's a tough one. It was back shoulder, but boy, it hit him.
Dead ball, personal foul against Concord for roughing the passer.
And
We got laundry on the field, Jeff.
it's a roughing the passer against Concord, Al.
Excellent.
And that's going to move the chains for
1st and
Goffstown.
10 for the Grizzlies, roughing the passer on the play.
Hey, Al, this is one of the best series we've had so far. This is
Absolutely.
We're
They're moving
starting
the
to-
chains. They're
moving
keeping
the
it
chains.
moving.
We're giving our defense a break. Our defense is getting a chance to catch their breath, and we're wearing down Concord for a few minutes. And
20-yard line.
and
1st and 10.
boy, if we can get some points on the board back before the half, that would really be a boost to the Goffstown team.
Casey set back. Stumbles. Oh, boy.
Casey Jarvis on a quarterback keeper.
Casey just basically slipped up on that, put his knee down, and that's a loss of about 3 to 4 yards on that play.
Yeah, that's tough. So
Ball's at the 25-yard line.
So
It'll
far,
be
Casey is
2nd and
digging
14.
himself some deep holes of negative rushing tonight. But that's, the defense of Concord is not giving up much. Not on the rush, but they're giving up the short pass.
Just look at the size of the team, Jeff. Looking at the sideline, the size of the Tide. They're a big team.
Look at the corners. The corners of Concord are playing about 5 yards deep. And
Casey set back.
And the
Pass
safeties.
intended for Christian Marquis. Pass is incomplete.
The safeties, Al, the corners are starting 5 yards deep. The safeties are starting 10 yards deep. And as soon as the ball is snapped, they're backpedaling. So
immediately
we have
pass.
5 to 10 yards at any given receiving route on the field always. We just need to identify it and take it.
Casey set back, has Bork to the outside, short pass, bumps to the outside, just about gets back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to bring up 4th and 14th. You know, Jeff, this is definitely in Mike Simmons' field goal range. I wouldn't be surprised if they just go for that field goal, or no, they're going for it.
Well,
gutsy play. I guess 3 points won't do much damage anyway, so go for it. They're deep in their zone.
Well, I suppose with the ball is on the 22, and that would end up being almost a 40-yard kick.
I think he could do it.
He has done it once earlier this year.
Casey set back, looking to pass. He's going deep for the end zone. Big Tex, well covered on that play, Jeff.
And
wasn't
again,
much separation.
Another thing that's going on with that deep pass, one, it's not really there. There's good coverage. And two, Casey's throwing it long and out of the zone, uncatchable by Paul. So what they need to do is start looking at those 5 and 10 yard hits that are there. So far, Concord's passing defense is exposing these 5 and 10 yard short routes.
They're giving us that pass. We might as well take advantage and take it.
At will. All we got to do is catch them out. That's the key.
Concord takes over at their own 22, 1st and 10. Grizzlies looking to stop the Tide. Every possession they've had and turnover has turned into points. Pass right up the middle. I'm sorry, carry right up to the middle.
Looks like
Walters Indy.
Timmy
really
Como.
nowhere to go on that one. Timmy was right there on that stop.
Timmy was right there with his 3rd tackle on the day.
You know, Jeff, one of the disadvantages of being away is the Grizzly Den won't be cooking up anything at halftime.
I know. I am going to miss a burger. Although I got to say,
like the GTV crew might have to go over to the Buffalo Wild Wings over here in Concord.
I agree. You know, there are a couple of Capital Pizza just around the corner.
A lot of great establishments here in Concord. Set back to pass, has some coverage. There's Zach Como on the coverage. Pass is complete at the 40-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Tide. Lots of Grizzlies on that tackle. We have Ian Ruthier. We have Matt
Duvall
Collins.
and Zach Como.
I'm sorry, not Matt. Alex Duvall.
Sean Jobin on that last play. The Concord first down. The ball is officially placed at the 43-yard line.
You know, Al, at Pinkerton last week, they have something called the Astro Burger in their grill.
Oh, boy.
Jeff and I were able to explore that. There was
Walters Indy on the carry.
And Ian Ruthier took him down.
Just across midfield. Just shy of the first down by about 3 yards.
Al, the Astro Burger had lettuce, tomato, cheese, and bacon. It was delicious.
A lot of the major food groups there, Jeff.
If somebody could have thrown in some onion and a little chili, I would have been in
I'd
heaven.
throw on the barbecue sauce with that instead of ketchup.
Whoa, maybe even a sautéed mushroom. That would be outstanding. I'm now hungry.
Lahr in the shotgun. Leo Sade, boy, he can run.
Boy, he
Lots
can.
of room. Pushed out of bounds at about the 26-yard line.
You know, I had a chance to coach Leo in years past, Al, with a few of the other guys from Concord, too, as well as Matt York. And, you know, and I know Jacob Lewis well, and had a chance to see Leo play in indoor. And, boy, we went undefeated that season in the Arena League down in Bedford, and he was a big part of the reason why. Excellent football player and good young kid. Little shout out to Leo. I hope he can keep his head on straight and keep up with his studies. And boy, what a good athlete and a good kid he is.
Good wrestler. Interesting. Set back to pass. That's Law. Pass nicely defended by Mitchell Couson. Pass was intended for Smith for Concord. Broken up right at the goal line by Mitchell Couson. Great pass defense.
And, you know,
Walters Indy, nowhere to go. Cam Bond, flag is on the play. Ian Ruthier, Ryan Bernard, all on the tackle.
Yeah.
Zach Como on the tackle.
Oh, and Cam Bond was in there early.
Let's see what that flag is.
Goffstown, Tim Como on the tackle.
It's against Concord.
Penalty against Concord.
Well, and I think Cam Bond was the first one in on that. And I think if we look at the film, you'll see that while Cam is making the tackle to start with, he initiates the tackle, and he gets pulled off of the tackle. So I think on the film we might see that where the offensive line decided not to give up on their block a little too long. As soon as you see the jersey stretch out, you know it's not just a block.
Law set back in the shotgun, has Indy. Oh, flags are down.
Oh, and it looks like Concord got a jump start. Wide right over here. The defender on Mitchell Couson. Boy, and Flowmaster's got his work cut out for him. This guy's hit the receiver he is on has got some serious wheels.
Another 5-yard penalty for Concord brings him back to the 45-yard line.
Second down and 24.
Yeah, second and 24. You would love to think that Goffstown might have a shot at stopping this series of downs here. Couple of long penalties. And
Law set back to pass. Sharon coming in quick. Pass to Indy. Joe Small will not catch him. Ian Ruthier will.
And Zach
stops
Como.
him at the 27-yard line.
That was
Ian Rothier on the tackle for Goffstown.
Ruthier and Como. And both of those guys now with 6 tackles. Zachary and Ian. And they're leading the team here.
Leading the charge, and we're only at the half.
And Bernard's got 5. He's right there as well. Timmy Como with 4.
18 yards of the last play to bring up a third down and 7.
Big Joe Small and Alex Duval have a few.
Law set back to pass, rolls to his left. Nowhere to go, brought down by Cam Bond real hard.
And that's a
loss
sack.
of yardage on the play.
That's a
sack. That is a sack.
Cam Bond. Boy, like I said, it's the little intangibles. He just doesn't quit. He keeps moving. And, you know, that's his second sack now of the season.
They'll bring up a fourth down and 14 for the Tide.
4th and 14 for the Tide. Looks like they're going to go for it. Just about 2.5 minutes remaining in the first half where the Concord leads 29.
Hey, sure, 4th and 14. Why wouldn't you go for it, Al? I mean,
they're already in the
you're
zone.
only up by 29.
They're up by 20, sure. Loss, set back to pass.
You may as well go
Has
for
the protection. He's going to run. Just out of the reach of Sam Sharon, but not Ian Ruthier.
And
Ian Ruthier keeps a hand on him.
Oh, and
oh boy.
Rob Lawrence, forced out of bounds at the 40-yard
taken
line.
down by Pinard.
Concord will turn the ball over
22, Mitchell Couson got in there. Pinard got in there.
Couson and Pinard.
Zach Como got in there.
Their own 40-yard line.
You know,
First and 10. We have a score from Bedford with 2 minutes left before the halftime. It's 10-7 in favor of Bedford.
boy, you know, we're that tackle out of bounds by Pinard and Couson there. Ruthier almost had another sack, but Pinard and Couson pick up a half sack each on that one.
Just out of the reach of Sam Sherrod on that play too, Jeff. First and 10 for the Grizzlies with about 2 minutes remaining. Casey set back to pass. He's going deep on double coverage. Pass intended for Tanner Putnam. Pass is incomplete.
Yeah, and I think what the coaches need to talk to Casey about and identify at halftime is that it's soft coverage. They're playing deep. Concord secondary is playing deep. So when we run into that deep zone, we're in double coverage. We're covered. There is no open pass in the deep zone. However, if we look in the short zone, the 5 and 10 yard hit, again, not sure why we're not really picking up on this, but it is wide open, folks. Wide open.
Casey set back. Quick pass to Connor Bork. Rolls to the outside. He's going to be met by a couple defenders. He's still on his feet. Okay.
Well,
he's at about the 33-yard line.
And that's a loss.
Loss of yardage on that last play. Sean Jobin with the tackle. To bring up a 3rd down and 15.
It's a loss of about 6, almost 5.
Well, the clock is ticking. We're at about a minute and a half. 3rd down and 15 for the Grizzlies as Casey sets up in his shotgun. Weapons are deployed, looking for his option. Keeps it himself, stumbling. Moves to the outside, has some blockers. Just about a first down.
And he reached, he stretched for it.
Out of bounds right at the 50-yard line. That'll be a close one.
Casey stretched there, and I don't know if they're giving him the reach, but he's about a yard short.
Well, you know, Jeff, that's the other option. You know, try to go deep. If there's no coverage, if it slacks off, he definitely has that running room for at least 7, 8, 9 yards for that rushing.
That was a 14-yard pickup, and now he's only at -1 yards rushing for the night, Dal.
For the half.
For the first and second quarter.
Casey set back. Looks like to Connor Bork up the middle. Oh boy, nowhere to go.
He stopped at the line of scrimmage by Chris Skinner.
Oh boy. That short run right up the gut does not appear to be there.
Goffstown will turn the ball over and down to Concord.
Concord will take over 1st and 10 in Grizzly territory at the 48-yard line.
Well, I hope the football gods have mercy on us here, Al, and
at least for the second half,
and
they will.
Concord maybe runs out the clock here with just over a minute and a half. But they're lining up with trips right in the deep pass.
Looking for that pass.
And they are taking
back.
a strike.
Pass is complete to Smith.
Pass is complete to St. Smith. He's down.
About a 7-yard, 8-yard gain on the play.
7-yard line.
Oh, yeah, there's no mercy here, Al. They're in the double spread, trips right.
Looking to put more points on the board.
Well,
they don't have enough for the first half. They may want to get the 30 mark.
Well, they better hurry. There's only about 45
Lost
seconds.
it back to pass. He's going deep. He has a man. He's out of bounds. He's out of bounds at the 7-yard line. Serves him right. That's number 8. That's Leo Sude.
And actually, Al, I would love us to look at that replay. Adam, if you could take a look at that on film. Leo ran out of bounds on the play and came back in. If you run out of bounds as a receiver and you're not forced out of bounds, you can't come back in and make the catch.
And that's probably why they're bringing it right back, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. It's because as a receiver, you can't go out of bounds. And I'm glad the refs caught that.
Law set back to pass. Pass is incomplete, intended for Simo Smith.
Well,
with 40 seconds remaining in the first half, where the Tide lead 29-0 over the Grizzlies.
Boy, you'd think they'd have just run a couple and run down this last 40
Just run down
seconds.
that clock.
The game is in hand at the moment. And I am now starting to think about halftime snacks, Al.
Well, there's a timeout called by Concord with 40 seconds left in the first half.
Well, they've got the time to take, so they can formulate their game plan. And if with 40 seconds left they're lining up with double spread trips and throwing it deep again, that is tough. Well, Al, 40 seconds left here, and we've got our defensive unit out there.
Concord comes back to the line with 40 seconds remaining in the first half.
And they're
with Indy set back.
Double spread. And balls to Indy.
Run right up the middle to Indy. He has running room. Mitchell Kusan up right by him in the end zone. Yeah. Okay, that's Concord for another touchdown. There's 31 seconds remaining. That took 9 ticks off the clock.
Yeah. Unfortunately, our secondary has a tendency to occasionally not take pursuit angles and come up on the ball carrier, but run seemingly backwards away.
Extra point for Concord.
You can't make a play on a speedy runner like Indy while you're backpedaling.
Extra point for Concord is up. Looks like it's no good, just a little wide. That puts Concord at 35 at the half. With 31 ticks on the clock left, it will be a kickoff to the Grizzlies. And remember, Jeff, Grizzlies will take over the ball at the second half.
They did defer, so that is good. I just pray that Concord cannot score again here in the second half in the last 31 seconds. At 35-0, it is well in hand at this point.
Perhaps they feel that they need maybe just another one before the half ends.
New Hartford High School graduate Dan Luker and his wife Karen Slick are now in the building.
I would hope that at a 50-point spread, they may consider it in hand then, Al.
Kevin Connick to kick off.
And I certainly don't mean to say stop playing football at that point. You don't. You play the whole game till the end. But perhaps.
Oh, he has some room. Twisting, turning, tries to go the other way.
Moving.
Boy, he's surrounded by red.
I'm merely suggesting that with a 35 or 45 or 55-point spread, you then start thinking about putting in the underclassmen.
Sure.
Calling off the dogs.
That would be the classy thing to do. Well, we have 20 ticks remaining, Jeff, into the half.
Well, deep in their own zone now, I wonder if Goffstown shouldn't just take a knee and not run the risk.
Sure. Just not run the risk of a turnover and another touchdown for the Tide.
A pick six here would be a broken back and a nail in the coffin, if you will.
Gervais keeps it. Looks like that will do it for the first half, Jeff. Where Concord leads 35-0 over the Grizzlies.
And that'll do it for the half. Well, certainly a huge halftime celebration there for Concord, appreciating senior night as the band now frolics and runs around in the softball field behind us. Looks like these kids are having a great time here this week. Well, Al, I think Goffstown needs to look at the bright side here. It was 41-0. Concord was leading West last week in the first quarter. So, you know, the fact that it was just 35-0 at half.
You know, the Grizzlies have got some first downs. They've moved the ball. It looked as though they got some momentum quite a bit, but then, you know, it's either a flag, not so much a flag, but a stumble here or there, incomplete pass. But, you know, they are certainly moving the ball, getting some first downs. It looks like we'll do something here. Whistles on this first play on the kickoff of the second
Maybe
half.
Offside on Concord, and if that's so, they'll have to back it up to kick again. Well, Al, they have moved the ball. I think what needs to happen is for consistent ball movement, they got to identify the open plays.
And take advantage of
they got to
those
take them,
plays.
and they got to catch the ball. And I think if they,
you know, I think you're right. I think Casey is putting the ball there. He's putting it in catchable spots, and
5-yard penalty against Concord.
they are resetting the clock. Tanner Putnam, Con Bork set back to receive. It's a squib in Connor's hands, right up the middle. He's a sneaky little fella. He rolls to the outside, across midfield, has some room, out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Grizzlies take over, 1st and 10, inside Concord zone.
great return for Concord, takes it all the way back to the Concord 35. Boy, and he got kind of lost in the logjam in the middle and then kicked it out.
Well, I think, you know, Jeff and I had a chance to chat before this, and, you know, the big bodies here with Concord, you certainly see Connor, he can hide behind a lot of those. He's a scrappy, small little fella, and can kind of just surprise you. And with his speed, if he gets open territory, we know what he can do.
Yeah, he can be dangerous.
Casey set back, keeps it himself, looking to pass. Oh, pass intended for Alex Duvall.
That's another perfect example of this Concord pass defense, Alice, playing soft. They're playing deep. That pass, again, was there.
That was that same pass that we had to Big Tex earlier. It was wide open. That pass was a little bit high, it looked like.
But this was there. This was a slant. Duvall ran a slant from the left side of the field across to the right. Tex has been doing the sideline patterns where he's tightly covered. You know, I think we got to keep looking for that. Casey's got to put the ball there, and we got to catch it.
Casey in the shotgun, 2nd and 10. 3 steps back, quick pass out. Oh, to Connor Bork, passing it. You know, Connor doesn't drop many of those this year.
No, and again, though, that was the short pass, and he had some green space if he could have caught it. And that's what the coaches are making the right calls now. These short passes, they've identified them. They're there. We've got to put the ball in the receiver's hands, and they've got to hold on. But it's good to see the coaches identifying these because these passes are certainly open.
Casey in the shotgun, back to pass. Pass intended for Big Tex. Pass is incomplete.
And it's too bad that pass was close, but again, a little wide. Casey is running these sideline patterns and throwing the ball out of bounds just beyond the reach. You know, the only good news about putting the ball just too far out of bounds as a pass is you can't get it picked off, but you're not moving the ball either.
And we just found out that newly married Matt Scobie is in attendance.
Casey in the shotgun. 2 steps, quick pass to Big Tex. Pass is complete. Looks like he got a first down. Looks like they'll move the chains, and they are.
And they finally got on the same page. That was a great effort by Paul to know where the first down marker was and get just a yard beyond that. Great play. Good catch by Paul to reel it in.
Grizzlies 1st and 10. Fake handoff to Connor Bork to the end zone now. Passes.
Again, that's a tired route they're running, and I'm surprised. I would like to see the coaches burn a timeout and say, hey, Casey, that deep sideline pass to Paul is heavily defended, and you keep putting it out of bounds. The frustration with that lies in the fact that the short pass on the wide side of the field is wide open.
Brings us to 2nd and 10 for the Grizzlies with 8 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Casey 2 steps back.
And Duval,
lots of pressure.
And Tanner
Pass to
Putnam
Connor
in the middle
Bork,
of
has
the
room. Oh,
brought
up and out of bounds. Big hit by number 22. That's Diago Hebra.
Wow, that Connor was stopped suddenly. He looks like
that's
a
what you
pickup
could call
of 8.
sudden impact. That's going to bring up about 3rd down with about 5 yards. Whoa, with about maybe 2 yards to go.
Balls on the 15-yard line will be 3rd down and 2.
And on that last play, if Duval was open early and Putnam was open later in the play.
Fake handoff to Connor Bork. Wide open,
and
Alex Duval.
Oh.
Boy, that was a strong hit. He really didn't have much chance to get his hands on that ball. That was hit by number 45 for Concord. That's Sean Jobin. And that was a big hit. He barely had his hands on that. And
yeah, it was a big hit. I think he had about a step with his hands on it, though. It's the difference between moving the chains and not. You got to hang on to it. Now, granted, that would have obviously been a great catch and a tough play, but you got to catch those. If the ball's there, you got to catch them.
4th down, 2 yards to go. What we haven't seen tonight is that option play with Christian Marquis or Tanner Putnam. I'm surprised we haven't seen any of that. Casey is brought down by Walters Indy, where a loss of yards on the play. That'll bring up Concord ball 1st and 10.
That was a loss of about 6
from their
yards.
23-yard line.
Goffstown will turn the ball over to Concord on down.
Well, it's tough, Al. We've got some drop passes and some passes that just aren't on the money, and it's tough when you can see them and they're there.
Yeah.
Boy, the opportunity is there. I would love to see Goffstown put it together for one drive and get some points on the board
Let's put
tonight.
some points on the board and leave here with our heads high. It's been a great season this year. Walters Indy still in the carry, gain of about 3 yards on the play.
Penard
Interesting to still see their senior starters in the second half up with 35-0 running clock, still pounding the ball.
And
like
Thump,
it's the first
Thump
quarter.
with a great open field tackle there on Indy.
I'm sorry, who got that tackle?
Penard.
Excellent. Handoff to Sude, went nowhere. Loss of yardage on the play. Great coverage on the play by Sam Sharon.
And you know what happens? You put in big dog Dylan Sherwood for one play, and what's he do?
Yeah, and that was Sam Sharon in on that loss of yardage play as well. Brings up 3rd and 10 for Concord.
We're ready to announce tonight's 50-50 winner. If you're holding ticket number 59.
But, boy, I like this move. Big dog Dylan Sherwood is in there right now on the defensive line. And you know what? Almost surprised he hasn't played a little more D for us this year because, boy, he is active.
He gets right behind there. Law rolls out to his right under pursuit. Nice hit right away by Mitchell Kusan. It does give the Crimson Tide a first down at about the 35, 36-yard line.
Whoa, and I am not sure what's going on down on the field right now. Number 64 of Concord was tangled up with number 80 of Goffstown, and they were both pushing and shoving well after the play.
And no whistle.
If that's not a hold, I don't know what is. And then there was after the play activity, and I'm not sure why the refs didn't throw any laundry there. It was right in front of one of the referees.
Well, this is certainly third quarter quick action here today.
Cam Bond.
Cam Bond on the tackle just across the 40-yard line is Concord.
Cam Bond on the stop for the Grizzlies.
Kind of curious with keeping the starters in. You're risking a chance of an injury right before first round of the playoffs. I'm not quite sure if that's the smartest move.
Yeah, especially when it's 35-0.
Risking an awful lot. Concord 2nd and 5. Law hands off to Sude. Has some room, jumps over, first down. Late flag, 2 late flags on the play. We'll see what the laundry tells us.
Well, Cam Bond made the tackle in open field. There are 2 separate flags here.
2 separate flags, absolutely. Actually, 3 flags down.
And I think one of them has got to be holding on the offensive line of Concord. They are absolutely mugging some of the D-line of Goffstown right now. And they're conferring with Ryan Pennard, the defensive captain for Goffstown, which would lead me to believe we're either going to decline or accept some penalties here. But if they are offsetting, it doesn't help us out, which would be a Concord first down. Let's see if they are offsetting penalties, if we get the horizontal wave of the arm. Holding on the offensive line of Concord. And a dead ball foul also against Concord.
Wow.
So it looks like not only are they causing penalties, but they're happening after the whistle. And I'm glad that the refs have finally acknowledged that, because this is not the first time
that brings them inside their own 30.
Well, I'm surprised we didn't see this a little sooner, Al. There have been a couple of brazenly obvious plays where there was after the whistle activity going on.
Oh, boy.
And a personal foul.
Big penalty just at about the 20, that's the 15-yard line.
Yeah.
Big penalty. That's going to be second down and forever.
30. It's a second and 30.
It's a long way.
Actually, it's second and 20. 30 and 30, yeah. It's 20 yards just to the original line of scrimmage.
Oh, he's still on his feet.
Oh, he had a knee down.
That is number 45. The fans don't like it. That's Sean Jobin.
Well, as we do know, unfortunately, Casey early in the season had an inadvertent whistle when he was going to go for a touchdown, and so now Concord's going to have to deal with the inadvertent whistle. You got to rule the play dead where it was.
Well, we're just at about the 2-minute warning. Concord's still 35. We've slowed down and stopped the bleeding for the time being.
Inadvertent whistle now. Do they let him take the 2 yards and keep the down, or is it a loss of down? Not sure what's going on here with that inadvertent whistle call.
Second down and 38. Boy. It's a long way to go. Law under center, hands it to Indy. Right up the middle, and he's moving. Ian Ruthier drags him right down. Drags him down at the 38-yard line.
And Ruthier makes a tackle, but, you know, with 30 yards to go, and he picks up 25. He picked up 25 yards.
That is a gain of 25. It's going to tick us down almost end of the third quarter.
Boy, with second and 30, they can make it 3rd and 5 on a run up the middle. That's a boy. They still got Indy Walters Indy in there.
Well, sure. His Law rolls to the outside to his right, looking for options. Pass is incomplete. Intended is to Jonah Mosier.
Boy, and that it looked like for a second, if Michel Cousson had gotten a read on that a second earlier, he may have had a play on that.
That'll bring us to a close of the third quarter, Jeff.
Well, third quarter was merciful to us.
We're happy to announce that Concord High School running back Walters Endy just gained officially for the season his 1,000th yard. Congratulations to Wally.
Boy, you got to give credit to that, Al. They announced that Walters Indy gained his 1,000th rushing yard of the season. Boy, it would have been helpful if Goffstown had a 1,000-yard rusher this year.
It'll be interesting to see if they keep him in there as he tries to reach his 2,000th yard.
Now it looks as though Concord's now got their JV unit in there. And they're going to punt, and we've got Justin Warner and Alex Duvall deep. Which is almost curious. You'd think we'd want some of the serious wheels out there. Warner's got some decent wheels. Kick to Alex Duvall.
Looks like it's Duvall. Almost the catch. Okay, covered by Alex Duvall at the 13-yard line. Grizzlies will take over 1st and 10.
And Alex is just having a tough time with his hands tonight with the passes and returning the ball. Luckily, he was able to make a good play there to recover it after muffing the catch. Let's see, it looks as if they're starting to make some replacements to the starting defense. It seems like Concord has made a lot of offensive replacements and only a few defensive. They've made quite a few defensive replacements actually, but they've still got several starters in there on D. Not yet ready to concede
Gervais
points.
Surrounded by his weapons. Quick pass out to Big Tex, brought down right away at the 15-yard line.
And that was just
right back to the line of scrimmage.
Oh, looks like they're going to give him 2 yards.
Okay.
Great. I will write that statistic down. 2 yards on the play.
There's certainly some level of comfort that KC has with Big Tex. Seems like that's his go-to man. I'd like to see him sprinkle it out a little bit.
Big target.
Oh, Casey brought down hard behind the line of scrimmage for a loss right at about the 10-yard line. 3rd and 14 on the play.
Boy, and this is where it gets tough when you've got your backup center in there with a nose guard like Skinner. We've got Andrew Byron trying to stack up against a big senior from Concord, and that's a tough job.
Gervais rolls out just out of the end zone. Pass is intended for Matt Collins. Pass is incomplete. I'm sorry, Alex Duvall.
Pass intended for Chan. Partner falls incomplete.
Well, Paul is going to have another chance to shine here in the
this
punt
time
unit.
He's going to have to punt from his end zone. Under 10 minutes remaining in the game. Great kick again.
From the goal line.
From the goal line down to midfield. That's a 50-yard punt.
Yeah, 49, 50 yards. That is a that's a boot. That is a near pro caliber punt.
If he doesn't make a clip of all of his punts.
We need to do a Paul punt highlight film. That was a half the distance of the field. We would take that all day long. Sometimes it becomes the small victories, Al, and we've got a great punt unit.
Concord, new quarterback, Tyler Martell, scrambles around. Nowhere to go, dragged down. Cam Bond gets his hands on him first.
And I think
Ian was with him.
Ian Ruthier may have been in on that as well as Cam. You know, I reminisce back to the band playing this Michael Jackson music, Al. This is outstanding quality.
Concord. Ball was brought down by Dylan.
Big dog.
Sherwood.
Boy.
Nice tackle.
Dylan's been playing on the D-line just for the second half. And he's got 3 tackles now, Al.
Wow, the Bedford score just came in. 3 minutes left in the third period. 10-10.
That is a absolutely tight game, and tighter than I ever would have anticipated.
Martell in the shotgun for Concord. Has it, rolls deep in his right. Sam Sharon on the coverage. Pass is complete.
And Mitchell
brought out of
Couson.
bounds by Mitchell Couson.
Mitchell came up and pushed him out of bounds on the play.
And the clock keeps ticking.
It'll bring up a 4th down and 1.
Concord at the Grizzly 40-yard line, and
Concord's
quarterback.
got the first down.
Wow, loss of yardage.
Whoa.
Nice sack by Sam Sharon and Cam Bond.
By Sam Sherwood. Concord will turn the ball over and down to Goffstown.
So Sam Sharon with the tag, and that is Cam Bond's second sack of the night.
Big Grizzly ball, 1st and 10 with under 6 minutes remaining.
Boy, here comes the Goffstown unit. And, you know, right about now, some of these seniors that are coming out on the field, Big Dog Dylan Sherwood, Ryan Pennard, some of these seniors have, you know, emotionally you start feeling it right now. You realize this is the end of the line.
This is it.
And, boy, I remember having a tough time swallowing that feeling myself, Al.
Last time, so a lot of these kids will put the pads on.
Well, with 5:24 left to play here, let's see if Goffstown can pull out some pride, just maybe get a stop here, and well, they're on off. Maybe they can just put up. Maybe
put a point on the board.
Put up some points.
To Dylan Sherwood, big dog, gain of 5 yards on the play for Dylan.
Hey, best run play of the day for Concord.
Dylan Sherwood on that last carry.
4 yards for big number 56. You know, I said that on a kick return team earlier that I'd like to see him run.
High snap. Casey takes it. Bobbled.
And that's a Pinard.
Ryan Pinard on the carry. Boy, he's letting the seniors see what it's like to play offense a little bit.
And Pinard ran the ball, and boy, you could hear the hit. He hits hard on
thump.
offense.
That's thump.
And that's a pickup of about
Ryan Pinard on the carry.
2 for Pinard.
Brad Rucker on that last tackle.
Positive yardage for both Sherwood and Pinard.
I think that's so they can have their names in the stats book on the offense. Say that they ran the ball. High snap again to Casey Gervais, looking to pass, going deep. As a man, he's open. That's Tanner Putnam. Touchdown, Grizzlies.
And that's a 47-yard connection, Al.
Great
play.
pass. With 4 minutes remaining in the game, the Grizzlies finally get points on the board. That's 6 points. We'll take it. Looked like there was a lapse in coverage. Tanner was wide open. It was nice to see Casey connect on that pass. It was right on the numbers. Tanner just had to wait for that and strolled right into the end zone.
47 yards. Nice pass.
Mike Simmons, our crossover player this year, senior, coming out to kick the extra point.
And hopefully Mike can keep his footing.
Mike Simon kick the extra point.
Matt Collins holding. Kick is up, and it's good.
And it's good.
Grizzlies on the scoreboard, 35-7.
Down 7, Concord 35.
Well, Al, boy, just feels good not to have the goose egg on the board there.
That's right.
Boy, with a powerhouse team like Concord, you got to take a moral victory away with just putting some points up. And you know, Goffstown's had a chance to have some fun here at the end. Let a couple of seniors run the ball, get in on defense when they don't normally play, and boy, it's fun to see you know, Casey connect with Tanner like that on a nice long bomb.
And Bolt will have a chance to do it again next year. They have a lot of returning players.
Al, I really do believe that this the youth on this team has gotten a lot of good experience this year, a lot of play time, and I really think that Goffstown is going to get better and better for the next couple of years.
It's Tyler Martell, clean catch for the Concord.
And Connor
Dragged
Bork.
down by
Connor Bork
Connor Bork.
on the special teams tackle.
25-yard line. Rob McHugh on that last tackle.
Well, Al, with 3 minutes and 21 left, and the clock is running. Let's see if Goffstown will even have a chance to get the ball again.
Tripped up by his own man. Concord goes
Taken
down.
down by
Cummings on the carry.
Sam Sharon and
It's like Ryan Bernard.
Ryan Pinard. I think Cam Bond might have been right in there as well.
Tackle made by Cam Bond.
I think there was Cam. I think it was Cam Ryan and Sam Sharon. Now, that tackle for Pinard, oddly enough, and here's what this does. That puts him at 8 tackles on the day.
How many does Ian have?
Ruthier also with 8.
8 ties. Wow. Deserving for both of them. Keep it that way. Oh,
And-
brought down by
Oh,
Ian.
and Pinard,
Ryan, and
Ruthier,
Cam
and Bond.
The trio.
Stop for the Grizzlies.
Just about 2 minutes
Boy,
remaining
and
in the game.
Cam Bond is not far behind. He's got 7 tackles on the day. Very active, very active. Just 2 minutes left.
Concord, 3rd down, 14 yards to go. Might be neat if the Grizzlies would get another stab at it.
You know, I would almost think, I wonder what the ruling is with timeouts and a running clock. I believe that maybe timeouts are null and
Pass
void.
Rush right up the middle, brought down by Tim Como and Ryan Bernard and Cam Bond.
Ryan Bernard on the stop for the Grizzlies.
Brings up 4th and 14
And
for Concord.
that's
They're gonna
Bernard's
punt it.
10th. That puts the season lead with Bernard as a 1-tackle edge right now.
Nick Como back to punt.
Back to receive is Justin Warner and Alex Duvall.
Earlier in the day, Bernard picked up his first sack of the year as well.
Mitchell Kusan almost got a hand on that. That's going to go out of bounds. Oh, stays in right at the 36-yard line.
Punt is down at the 36-yard line.
And
1st and 10 for the Grizzlies.
clock is running. If they want to get a playoff,
May have a chance for one more play.
I would think that the season is now over, Al. With the clock running, Goffstown is not even making an effort to get out on the field.
Yep, that should be it.
I think Goffstown is after a 10-second consult on the
Okay, we're going to have
sideline.
one last play for the season for the Grizzlies. 20 seconds remain. Whoop, we got a stumble. Casey has the ball, has some running room. Up the middle, gain of about 4 yards on the play. That'll do it. That'll bring the season to a close for the Grizzlies. Concord 35, Grizzlies 7. That brings us to a close for the 2013 season for the Grizzlies as a inaugural season in D1. 4 wins for the Grizzlies. Well, Jeff, at camera, it's been a pleasure. We'll see y'all next year, and we got a lot promising future ahead of us.
I think we certainly do, Al. It's looking forward to some excellent football and some growing a team that's going to put up a few more W's on the board as the next couple of years come to us. Guys, thank you very much, and it was a great season. Go Grizzlies.